aboard! All aboard! Ah, well, hello there. So, you're getting on this train, huh? You know, I've been conducting this train for a good couple of years now. Been through a lot with her. I remember the "I got nothing up my butt" incident back in 2019. There was also the Florida man who threw a Bible at a police officer. Oh, and don't get me started about the year 2020. Oh, boy. So listen, if you're new here, I gotta read this this piece of paper for you. It's sort of a legal thing, you know. Here we go. Warning. The following show may feature some adult language and adult scenarios that are not suitable for those under the age of 18 to 21 years old. If you are under this age, please consult your parents and or legal guardians for permission to listen to this show. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Well, with that out of the way, will you still be getting on? Excellent. Well, let me just punch your ticket for you. And welcome to Trademark's Trainwreck.
Look, I told you guys to stay on the shelf and stop falling off and stop attacking me. You too, Bob. Don't think I didn't see you.
Alrighty then. Well, with one of Gray's manic episodes out of the way, good evening, passengers, and welcome to tonight's episode of Trademark's Trainwreck, featured on Celestia Radio, all Phantom all the time.
I'm not kidding. Let's see. Peter kicked my Blue Beetle, okay, Ted, off the thing, okay? They were both on the floor the other day. Nothing else happened, and then Mr. Incredible himself sat there and jumped off the fucking shelf while I was doing something on this computer. I am not insane, okay? There is something going on here, and I don't know what it is, but they better stay on the damn shelf, or I'm gluing their feet to the fucking wood. I really am.
The person who I'm currently not calling for help is RandomGreymane. And the one sitting in the corner quietly watching Gray lose his mind is Sherlock.
Yep.
Anyway.
Anyway.
They haven't started talking to me yet, so I'm still sane.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure.
I'm genuinely fucking concerned about you sometimes with half of the shit that you say. Well, how are we doing this week, gentlemen?
Well enough.
Well enough. Yeah,
I do.
You do what? I ask how you're feeling, and you go, I do.
I do. That's about as well as I can phrase it. I do. It's not I do well. It's not I do this. It's not I do that. It's I do. Just some things. I do.
For a minute, I thought you had your wires crossed again, and you thought this was a wedding.
No.
Do you, RandomGreymane, take this podcast?
Shush.
You know, I love you guys, but I'm not marrying this podcast. I'm sorry.
No. Nobody is. Well, I don't have any intro material, no unnecessary plugs. I don't even have anything from Chew Boom, so I think this is a quick intro.
Actually.
Oh. What have you got?
I've got a little bit of amusing news. So again, slightly political, but it's not that bad.
All right, shoot.
We found out recently that the first dogs, Champ and Major Biden, the two German Shepherd rescues, have to be sent back to the Biden home in Delaware because Major got a little aggressive with the Biden security team and actually bit one of them.
Yes,
Oh,
I've actually heard a little bit of this. I actually have an article from one of my sources about this. Give me a minute and I'll read along with you.
I mean, it's, he's a rescue dog. He's around a whole bunch of new people, and there's all these. And you got to remember that Champ and Major were not around during the Obama administration when he was living in the White House, in his section, because I still don't know exactly how it works with the vice president, but, Anyway, so they're not used to it. They're also not used to all these people, so they got to go home for a little while and, learn to behave.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Which is honestly surprising to me because, biting at the Secret Service in the last administration, that would have made you press secretary.
You just fucking you just reminded me of a bit from like Lee Evans, the retired British comedian. It's rescue dog. Just talking about a 3-legged dog, one eye missing. Meow.
Okay, to be honest, like, no offense against Lee Evans, but rescue dogs are
they're more diverse than that.
They're more diverse than that, and it's very important to actually go and look into, adopting a rescue dog. But you need to know what you're getting into. I can't tell you how many house parties I've gone to where a couple of girls have brought over a rescue dog to the house party, and the thing is shaking like a leaf, about ready to piss itself under the table. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with your dog? It's like, oh, she's a rescue, and she was abused by men. She was abused by men, so she's not really comfortable. I'm like, then bring her to a house party.
Yeah. Why did you bring the? Oh my god.
Because she's so cute.
People forget that rescue dogs are like people, children that you adopt. Okay, some of them have history that is really, really scarring to themselves, and
they're like foster children.
Yeah, they're like foster children, and when those things scar you, okay, they scar you for life. It takes time for things to go away, and it's the same for any sort of rescue pet. Okay, it's they wondered why, the one dog that my mom had snapped at people. Well, it was because he was abused, and some of that shit never goes away. So why are you forcing it? I mean, that's just idiotic,
right?
Yeah.
It takes time.
So
it's gradual.
That's my little bit of digging humor there at the politically, anyway, as far as political as I'm going to go.
Hey, it's a good day when the only political thing we have to talk about is, oh no, Biden's dogs have to go home for a little bit to learn how to be better at being around people.
They have to learn how to be better boys.
It's like,
oh my god,
you were the first dogs.
That's the worst news to have come out of the White House in the year 2021 that I actually care about.
It's so funny how many people are butthurt by those two dogs, because it's like, oh my god, they're not dog-like enough. They're not presidential enough. I'm like, what are you talking about?
They're two giant-ass German shepherds.
The president previous one, the one that you now worship like a fucking god, didn't have any dogs.
Well, it's not that's not. But I mean,
that's not true. I mean, he had Melania.
But
sorry.
I mean,
sorry.
you look at all the other previous administrations. Though, it's like you didn't have you had tiny dogs, or you had a cat that was more popular than the dog, and nobody remembered the dog's name. And it's like the administration has had all sorts of first pets. Okay. So
except for one, and we will not speak of them because the fact that they have no pets marks how evil they were.
Jesus Christ, and there's Fangirl, everybody.
Surprise, Fangirl!
Anyway,
I had to speak
well,
up
actually,
because of the last administration that was petless. But no wonder.
no, that is
For who-
not
for
true.
what-
That is not true.
Oh no,
the
that's
vice
not
president. The vice president had a pet. He was a bunny, and the vice president, as homophobic and as hyper Christian as he was, released a book about the first bunny. So, in response to Pence's anti gay agenda in his politics, he produced another book and released it before Biden released his, all about a bunny who looks and has a very similar name to his pet bunny, but is openly gay.
You know why that is, right? You know why that is. And that's because he's been through conversion therapy. And there is a gay man trapped inside that head trying to get out. Okay?
Yep.
So at some point, I hope, and I fervently wish this, I hope that he breaks his shackles on that. Okay, because that's
The
disgusting.
brainwashing will be removed.
Yeah, I hope the
Maybe
brainwashing.
maybe Lindsey Graham can take him down to wherever he goes to go drag queening.
Oh God.
Anywho, moving on.
Anyhow, let's move out of political territory before we get too far down in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the YouTube algorithm's gonna like us too much.
Oh, fuck them.
Fuck the YouTube
They
algorithm.
haven't taken down any of my videos yet. They haven't given me a copyright notification. They haven't given me anything so far. Granted, at the time of recording this, we're not that big of a YouTube channel, but either way, I don't give a shit. Fuck them. Anywho,
we don't have anything that's copyrightable anyway.
oh, YouTube would find a way. Like I could fart.
It's not necessarily about the copyright. It's about political speech or too many swears or things like that. That can flag you on YouTube.
Why do you think my?
I mean, he's not monetizing right now. So
why do you think my intro is over a minute long? It's to get over the hump where they can flag you for swearing too early. I cheat the system, motherfuckers. Anyway, welcome to Trademark's Trainwreck, when we're not talking about politics when we really shouldn't be, or slagging off YouTube, as the Brits call it. We talk about all the dumb things that crop up in the news that I collect over the course of a week or two. We're gonna start the show off with the softcore material after a quick musical interlude where I advertise my coffee, my Twitter, our sister show Tree Time, or something else that I forget at the moment. After the softcore material, we have another musical interlude, and then we have the hardcore material. So, any passing remarks y'all want to make before we begin?
Yeah, I already
It's
joked
4
about
more
what I
days.
wanted to.
nobody on the shelves.
One at a time. Fanny.
It's 4 more days till Pie Day. Go to your local pie shop and buy one in preparation.
Yes. Great.
If nobody falls off the shelf again before Pie Day, I will go buy pie.
All right, and on that note, it is time. We'll be...
I'm sorry, it's creepy. I come in and they're all on the floor.
Like I said, on that note...
You might have a poltergeist.
Maybe.
No.
So we'll be right back, folks. You're listening to Trademark's Trainwreck, featured on Celestial Radio, Phantom all the time. Except when it's Mario Day! Yahoo!
I saw you, Hal. Don't you dare. Don't you dare move.
Alrighty.
For those of you playing the home game, Hal is not the name of one of Greymane's new pets or a child. It is a figurine.
Yeah, he's got
Jordan.
He's got a collection of like comic book character action figures that he has on a shelf, and apparently they are haunted. If you haven't caught on to that by now.
They're not haunted. They're just moving every now and then, falling off the shelf, and I'm tired of it.
You're tired
moving
of it.
on.
Don't live on a planet
Moving
of gravity.
on.
Yes, moving on. Welcome back to Trademark's Trainwreck on Celestial Radio, all fandom all the time. It's time to start the softcore material, and we're starting with a bang, or rather a smash. It's a little early to be talking turkey, but here we are. I've never seen this on the list of reasons why a visit to the dentist's office is uncomfortable. But here we are. March 8th, 2021. Turkey smashes through window in California dentist's office.
What?
Okay.
Yep.
Was it frozen or live?
It's live. It's a living turkey. Living turkey, just fucking gobble gobble smash.
They're not light birds, but also glass is not that easy. So
well, apparently it is. Well, here's the story.
These things can't fly.
Here's the story.
They can flap short distances, but...
So, a wild turkey caused serious damage to a dentist's office in California. The turkey broke through a glass window, startling the office's manager, Donna McDonald, who was the only person inside. McDonald heard the commotion and was shocked to find the massive bird thrashing around in the waiting room. It clawed up multiple walls to where we're gonna have to repaint in there. Some of the glass that came in cut the dental chairs, and will need some deep cleaning, McDonald said to the local news.
It's more than likely that turkey just shat over everything.
Probably that too. She was told that the bird was so large and aggressive it gave the animal control officer a hard time as she tried to capture it. There was no wrangling this bird as an amateur. The wildlife lady kind of struggled with it, McDonald said. Eventually, the wild turkey was captured and taken to the Gold Country Wildlife Rescue, where it is recovering. Greg Sim, treasurer of the Gold Country Wildlife Rescue.
Grim.
What did I say?
Sim.
Weird. I don't remember that. Anyway, he told the local news that the turkey likely saw its... I couldn't finish that sentence because this is so stupid. Yet I can believe it. Greg Sim told the local news that the turkey likely saw its own reflection in the window and attacked it, thinking it was a rival.
Yeah, probably. I mean, remember, these are the same type of birds that will stare up at rainstorms and drown.
Yeah, they oh yeah, no, that's not a joke. There's a reason that when you breed turkeys, you keep them in round pens. Okay, because they're stupid enough to cluster up in a corner and squish one of their own to death. Okay, turkeys are not smart birds. Okay, you can ask anybody that's ever had to deal with them. Now the thing I'm curious about is what kind of glass was in this window. Okay,
apparently candy glass.
Yeah, apparently candy glass, because I've seen glass
or
in
sugar glass. My bad.
Yeah, sugar glass. I've seen glass in business windows that like took basketball hits, okay, or baseballs, or softballs. But this is a turkey, and it attacked it, and the beak was hard enough. Maybe
I guess
I'm confused.
I can see it like this.
It probably was hard enough, to be honest, but
multiple strikes,
because it's a small little pinpoint on the glass, but at the same time, it honestly should be like the bird should have been seriously injured.
Yeah. We're amazed. It's amazing that the bird wasn't injured and that nobody was in that office to be attacked by this bird. One final.
Lord. Can you imagine the mental fallout from that? You're sitting in the dentist chair.
Okay. Yeah. you're in the dentist chair and you're hearing all the noises. You're hearing all the noises from inside the office. And then there's this bird.
Then a turkey just shows up out of nowhere and you're like, "Oh God!
I'm never coming back here again." Fuck the insurance.
All right, I gotta say this, and I'm really sorry.
Oh, no.
I know it's probably going to offend a few people. Hell, I might even offend a couple of my co-hosts here. But the wildlife rescue, guys, it's a turkey. Shoot, like smack it in the head with a blunt instrument. Shoot it. Okay. Look, here's the thing. That happens sometimes with wild critters that are like that get very dangerous, but they're not on the endangered species list, and they're also usually something that you eat with like potatoes. Like those, like screw it, we're not going to release this thing back in the wild. It's too dangerous. Pop.
Right.
I'm not gonna say you're wrong, but I'm not gonna say you're right either. I'm just gonna take the gray area on this one.
Was there a Boston market in the area? You know, I mean, you could have donated a Boston.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, if this bird was really big, you could probably get a lot of money off of that thing.
Okay, so one final quote from Mr. Grimm. Now the other thing that birds sometimes do when they see windows is that they see their reflection in the window, and especially if it's during mating season, they may think it's a competitor for their mate. So basically,
what the hell was this wild turkey doing so close to the fucking civilization anyway?
Okay.
No. You know what this is? This is the equivalent of an article that we covered in the olden days of yore, aka the pre-YouTube days, where there was this drunk guy that saw his own reflection and pulled a Peter Griffin.
I wasn't going to mention him until you did. I thought about it, but I wasn't.
You son of a bitch! Boom!
No, seriously though, we live in a subdivision, okay, and we're not particularly rural, okay. We're not a particularly big town where I live, but we live in a subdivision, and we get like a half a dozen wild turkeys that roam through during summer. Okay, I'm serious. You can watch them. I even have a video somewhere I'll show you later. Okay, we're just wild turkeys walking across the road, and these things happen. Wildlife, nature finds a way. Let's just go with that. Nature finds a way.
I guess it's kind of hard for me to understand since I don't have turkeys out where I live. I mean, we've got
pigeons.
I guess every once in a while we might have something that would get aggressive. We might have roaming javelina.
You have scorpions, roaming people with MAGA hats, and
no. That's down south. I'm talking about up north.
That's just
besides deer, but that's fucking deer.
Yes,
but
the
like
four-footed rats of the animal kingdom.
Yeah, as Ten likes to call them, they're stupid giant rats with antlers.
Yes, they are. Very much so.
Never heard it put quite that way before.
No, honestly, elk and deer are annoying. They're stupid, and like even if there's if humans weren't around, there would still be enough apex predators to keep their population down. If there weren't apex predators to keep their population down, they would overbreed and destroy the ecosystem they lived in.
They've done it before. They've done
it before. When look at England. Like they nearly did that with England.
Yeah, there is a reason that there is very, very little restrictions on hunting deer during certain seasons. Okay,
yeah,
because literally, you could walk up and beat one with a baseball bat if you're brutal enough. Okay, and it would still be a valid hunting thing. Okay, because deer are that prevalent and they cause that much damage.
Welcome everybody to the Trademark Animal Hunting Show.
Sorry, Bambi viewers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Bambi viewers, but
I apologize for that thing, but this is the reality of it.
On this week's episode of Trademark's Redneck Hunting,
I think we need to get out of the turkey weeds here.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I got next one is an entirely human problem. Oh boy, this cropped up last week, but I couldn't throw it in because then we would have a fucking surplus of news, so I saved it for this week. This is stupid. I gotta check where this happened. Where did this
Again, we're gonna be suspicious if you suddenly stop and say, "Oh, I don't want to play this news thing."
No.
It happened near my house.
No. I'll never pull that kind of shit. Okay. No, it's nowhere near me. So this happened on March 2nd, 2021. Oh man, this is so stupid. I'm just gonna say the title. Cheetos residue helps police crack burglary case.
Cheetos are just so diverse, aren't they? I mean, we're seeing them used in all forms of cooking and culinary arts and even like fine cuisine, and now we can use it in forensic science.
All right, so
now all I can see is some police officer with a glove dipping his finger in, tasting it, flaming hot.
So, first line of the article.
God, if I see that on a crime drama, I'm just gonna lose it.
So, first line of the article. Jason Hall. No. A recent burglary investigation in Oklahoma proved it ain't easy being cheesy.
Boo.
Oh, God damn it.
Boo.
Boo, Jason Hall. Boo. The Tulsa Police Department announced that they were able to successfully locate a burglary suspect through Cheetos residue in a post shared on their official Facebook account on Monday, March 1st. Sharon Carr was charged with first-degree burglary in connection to an incident near 67th and South Sheridan last Friday, February 28th. The department received a call about the burglary at about 8 p.m. The female victim said another woman broke in through a window of a house while she and 2 children were inside. The suspect, later identified as Carr, had pried the screen off of a window using a board and got inside, but left before stealing anything or causing harm to anyone inside. Officers located a bag of Cheetos and a bottle of water on the floor near the open window, which they believed was dropped by the burglary suspect.
God damn it.
Jesus.
I don't mean to suddenly become RandomGreymane, but if you're gonna commit a crime, don't stop for snacks.
Or
You
at
can
least
snack.
Take your snacks with you.
You can
You
snack.
can snack after the crime.
You can snack before or after, not during. You imagine if you imagine if you stumbled into a burglar in your home and instead of like holding some kind of weapon, they're just standing there with a fucking like a Coke in one hand and a bag of Cheetos in the other, just going.
Like, for real, this is some bullshit. Like, although it stands to reason, this is how it should be for anything. Honestly, for just about any, I hate to call it work, but work. Like, because this reminds me very much of something that that big boss at my job told us once.
Oh boy.
Which is that they shared a few stories of employees doing things they weren't supposed to, including one person who had apparently called in and said, "Yeah, I'm at this location collecting a late payment from bad customer number 87." And then Big Boss just happened to be right next to the company delivery truck, seeing this employee leaving the convenience store with 3 boxes of food in hand. And I was just like, okay, are you that dumb?
Jeez.
If you're on the job, don't stop for. If you're on the job and you have shit to be doing, don't stop for snacks. Doubly so if you're
Doubly so if your job involves crime.
Doubly so if your job involves breaking into people's houses. If you're going to be that fucking hungry, eat before you do the crime.
Oh man.
I will say this, okay? There's something wrong with this lady because look around her eyes. Okay. Her
This
eyes
woman's
are very,
sleep
very set
deprived.
back, and she's very sleep deprived, or she's got something else going on with her. So there's probably a medical thing going on there.
Maybe.
But no, still stop eating the Cheetos while you're stealing shit. That's just...
No. The takeaway is don't do the crime in the first place. So here's how it went down. Police said the victim identified Carr as the suspect after seeing her and Carr was further linked to the crime when officers noticed Cheeto residue on her teeth.
I mean, that's not much to go on. I mean, it's suspicious. It's very circumstantial.
Yeah, it's extremely circumstantial, and I would be concerned unless they found her like nearby. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. The Post reiterates that this is an arrest, not a conviction. An arrest means that the person is being detained and questioned as to how they are involved in the circumstances. A conviction is, we have evidence, you going nowhere.
Well, they also need probable cause to arrest the person. Granted, most police will just say, well, I can make whatever probable cause the fuck I want.
Yeah, unfortunately. So I guess if there's any update to this particular case, we'll keep you in the loop, just like the trash bag lady.
Like all the other, yeah, just like the trash bag lady. Although the trash bag lady is a little bit more of a stretch.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
So
I honestly was kind of hoping that they never find him.
I will admit to that, because there is some level of civil unrest sometimes, that takes place that should happen in a healthy society. But moving on.
Moving on. Oh boy, I suddenly feel like quoting or paraphrasing rather fucking Team Rocket from Pokemon. Prepare for trouble and make it double.
Oh god damn it!
Fuck. Really?
You'll see why in a second.
No.
Drunk driver crashes into car of drunk driving friend he was coming to help in East Nashville. And you know what? The person...
Right, points for having the right attitude. Your friend's too drunk to drive. Cool beans.
Man, I need a ride. Look, I'm too drunk to drive. I need a ride. All right, I'll find someone. Have you been drinking? Yeah, a little bit, but I'm better than you. I can take care of it. All right, and if you're sure there's no one else.
Who has the least amount to drink tonight?
Again, points for having the right, for having for points for being, kind of having your heart in the right place. You wanted to go help your friend because they were too drunk to drive. Oh, you lose all the fucking points because you are also too drunk to fucking drive and you went anyway.
By the way, this happened on March 5th, 2021. And also, the person who wrote this article, one Brian Niemetes, I apologize. They couldn't resist making the quote. First line, make it a double.
Yeah, but that's a drinking thing, though, too.
Well, either way. There we go, just posting the article to my co-host. So this is a short and sweet article, but either way, it's pretty stupid.
Surprise Nala.
Surprise Nala in the background. A car belonging to a woman who drove into a ditch after leaving a bar was hit by a truck driven by a friend coming to her aid. So we're off to a banging start. Okay. Let me just... What? What's with the boo?
Off to a banging start.
Oh.
Yeah, that gets a boo.
That one slipped my mind. But yeah, let me reiterate. It was the car that got hit, not the woman. Okay. So both drivers tested double the legal blood alcohol limit according to police reports obtained by the local news. What is the...
I have to look it up.
It's East Nashville.
The legal limit nationally is 0.08.
0.08.
Yeah.
Probably. So
that is what it's at in a lot of places.
So double that.
0.16, or sorry, 0.08. Yeah, 0.16.
Yep. The double DUI arrest happened in East Nashville, Tennessee, shortly after midnight Thursday morning. Police say Natasha Nansel, 24, admitted she'd had a glass of wine and an espresso martini at the Fox Bar before driving her car into a trench after checking her cell phone. And that, kids, is why you don't bring out your phone while you're driving. She reportedly called her friend Melvin Arndt. Melvin Arndt. What a name.
Yeah, I cast shame on his parents. I do. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Melvin
That's a
Arndt.
parent
You
shaming
should
name.
know
You
better.
should know better.
I aren't drunk. So, yeah, she called him for assistance, and when the 30-year-old man arrived to help Nancel, cops say he struck her vehicle. Here I come to save the day! Police said Arndt...
Mighty South.
Hmm?
Mighty South.
Police said Arndt confessed to consuming 2 beers before driving. Okay, I don't drink beer, and even I'm just like, how do you get drunk on 2 beers?
Okay, 2 beers, unless he consumed it right before he was leaving, I don't think that would do a double alcohol limit.
Yeah.
Well, apparently...
I think he's lying.
I think he's lying, yeah.
He might be, because he reportedly blew a 0.191 blood alcohol content, while Nancil registered a 0.179. And yeah, the legal limit is 0.08. So yeah, they were more than double.
Yeah, they're lying.
They are
There's
lying.
no way that you can get that fucked up off of 2 beers.
Yeah.
Unless you were the lightest lightweight ever. I mean,
Yeah, Melvin's lying.
I
Melvin's lying. She maybe the wine that she had and the espresso martini were, enough for her.
I would find that really doubtful. I really would.
Well,
okay.
Either way, you can't write this fucking shit. Like, one person gets drunk and goes into a ditch, calls up her friend. Hey, I need help. I'm drunk and I crashed my car. Other person picks up the phone, listens to this, and after drinking 2 beers goes, okay, I'm on your way. And fucking goes to her and crashes into her car. This is like something out of fucking Looney Tunes.
Yep.
This is like an 80s drinking movie.
Oh man, this is
like an 80s college drinking movie is what it feels like.
Yeah, this is the fucking equivalent of those shitty movies that like focus on marijuana and doing comedy behind it.
The Reefer Madness movies.
The Reefer Madness, yeah. Like
that movie is insane. I think we made you watch that.
I don't remember. I know of the black and white Reefer Madness, but I don't know if I've watched it.
That's the only one.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched it. I know of it thanks to the Nostalgia Critic. So, I don't think I've watched it. But anyway, yeah, just you can't write this shit. You really can't. Also, espresso martini. What is that? Ooh, it's vodka.
And vodka and coffee.
Yeah, it's a coffee flavored martini. I think that's about all it is.
I mean, I've had a fucking chocolate mint martini, and that shit's
which are
good.
not bad. I've had
those. No, those things are real good. And honestly, given personal experience, I can believe that this woman probably got tipsy on 1 martini and 1 wine, because I'm the guy who drank 2 chocolate mint martinis, got up to look at a poster, and then felt myself get up to look at a poster. I time traveled thanks to this fucking drink. So yeah, I can totally believe that this woman got at least tipsy from the combo. Anywho. Last softcore article. Oh boy. This last one. This last one is, it's a special something. So, have you all had that one song that you feel is overplayed, like is repeatedly played to the point of you going, if you don't shut that shit off right now, I'm going to lose it?
Oh god, let's see from the 90s, Lit, Over My Head.
Okay.
We've got a story.
So Well, growing up, I had one of my brothers had mental issues. He was closest to me in age. He had to live at home for a while. When he hit his late teens, early 20s, that's when he hit his emo phase.
Oh no.
And he constantly played Linkin Park's
Tried So Hard.
In the end,
Try So Hard. Yes.
Yeah, in the end.
He-
Yeah,
he
that's the
played-
one.
Yeah, in the end, he played that one song all the time. Like literally would play that song morning, noon, and night on repeat, on a loop at its loudest effing setting. And neither of my parents would tell him to stop because he was the special boy.
Just expressing himself.
And he did this even when everybody had to go to bed. He did this even in the middle of the night. And he didn't like that other people got to sleep while he got to go and be up all the effing time because he got lonely. So yeah, he played this song all the time. So much. I got him an MP3 so he could have more songs. This is the only song he would play on his fucking headphones.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
And he didn't like it in his headphones because it hurt his ears, so he would always play it on the fucking giant fuck off speakers. When he finally moved out, I was so damn happy because I didn't have to hear that song anymore. So whenever I hear that song, whenever I hear the beginnings of that song, I'm just like, no, turn that off.
I don't remember the name of the song, but for me it was Paved Paradise, Put Up a Parking Lot.
Oh, yeah.
Big Yellow Taxi. Big Yellow Taxi is the name of the song.
Fuck that song.
Which one? The one by the Counting Crows or the one by no, you're probably too young for the other one. Counting Crows is probably it. Never mind.
Well, it's whatever song was playing constantly in the speakers in my grocery store.
Joni Mitchell was the other one. Was the older version.
Yeah, I've had a few of those songs in life. None of them really jump out at me because I've never had that experience. I don't listen to the radio anymore.
I honestly don't know if Counting Crows did that because
Counting Crows did do a version of it. Yes, it is actually in my rotation. It's not a bad song, but then there's also the original that was done by Joni Mitchell, which has slightly worse audio. Because it was done folk style. It was just basic guitars and some minor sound adjustment
and some bop bop bops.
Yeah.
Now I want to say
that was Joni.
I want to say one thing slightly because I know we're gonna get comments, especially on YouTube. When I was talking about my brother, I understand that a lot of people have mental disabilities and who are not neurotypical. Have quirks, they have things that make them feel better, they have things that bring them peace of mind and calm, but I want to also say this. My brother in particular was a high functioning person with certain mental handicaps.
Yeah,
he
but
knew
also
what he was doing. He knows right from wrong, but because he had been pampered, spoilt, and catered to and entitled his entire life, and no one tried to stop him until he was an adult and he persisted in these behaviors, and they realized, oh, we made a mistake in letting him get away with what he wanted. He did whatever he wanted and manipulated people however he wanted for years because he knew he had the crutch of, I take medicine for mental illness. Again, he's very high functioning.
Yeah, it's you told stories over the years, okay, and from what I can tell, and from other experiences in my own family with people of similar ilk, okay, you've got no nothing to apologize for here, okay? Because the person on the other end is the person that's acting manipulatively and just saying, fuck all, I don't care. People have to do whatever the fuck I want them to. So, and yes, we are.
Because I say this all because I know people are going to say flack, but no, I genuinely care and sympathize with others who either are mentally handicapped or have family who are mentally handicapped who do similar behavior, but who aren't entitled, who aren't selfish. They just don't know better. They are not the same as my brother. He knew better. He didn't care. He was just selfish.
Okay, we're done because Trade is lawnmowing the bushes.
It's got the giant thresher out. So
here I am trying to get to the article, and we're suddenly on a fucking PSA. Granted, an important one that is. I'm not going to cut out of the actual release of this episode, but even so. So yeah, you've all have demonstrated your personal feelings toward the song that played over and over that you hated. You want to know what y'all have in common?
What?
You didn't jump at the chance to fucking attack the person playing the song.
Well, so that's the thing. I don't think I'm going to be able to meet Joni Mitchell.
Well, here's the thing.
No, there were times I wanted to, but I am not a violent human being.
No, but this person is. Woman! So, March 3rd, 2021. Whoever wrote the title for this article, fuck you. Woman freaked out over Le Freak. And for those who don't know, that's the song that goes, "Aw, freak out!" You know, that. By the...
It's not that bad, you just can't have it on rotation for like 4 hours straight.
Yeah, and this is the, I believe it's a mostly African-American group by the name of Chic. C-H-I-C. So, March 3rd. Angered that her roommate was playing the Chic classic Le Freak, quote, over and over again very loudly, end quote, a Florida woman, there she is, allegedly battered the disco devotee during a 12:15 a.m. confrontation in the duo's apartment. According to an arrest affidavit, Mary Ann Lannon, 53, quote, became upset, end quote, after the 64-year-old victim, who is Lannon's cousin, put the 1978 song on repeat. Investigators allege that Lannon freaked out, you see what they did there? And pushed her kin into a makeshift tiki bar, causing the bar to fall apart and the victim to strike her left eye on a speaker. Lannon's cousin, cops noted, suffered, quote, severe swelling and bruising to the left eye, end quote. Lannon, who was arrested at the Tampa Bay area apartment she shares with her cousin, was charged with domestic battery, a misdemeanor. Lannon was released, let's see... What was the Tuesday of that week? I believe that might have been March 2nd, the day before this article was actually written. She was released that afternoon upon her own recognizance. A judge has ordered Lannon to have no contact with the victim, whom she has lived with for the last 5 years. Oh, that's gotta suck. No contact with the victim.
Like
well, guess that's me fucked. And
now,
then
the only thing I have to ask here is, was the person in question that she attacked playing the song at 12 a.m.?
Well, I would assume so, because otherwise that would be very superfluous.
Playing a repeat song at 12 a.m. That's
that is a dickhole move.
That'd be a dick move.
That would be a dick move. Yes.
To make any kind of song to play any kind of song or to make any kind of noise when anyone's trying to sleep is a dickhole move.
Yes. Anyway,
that's why I say there are times I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I am not a violent person.
Mm-hmm. You have a stronger will than this person. The rest of the article, of course, goes on to describe what Le Freak is and the history of Le Freak, just to pad the run time. Or pad the article, rather.
So the article got into the weeds.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
We can never avoid the weeds. Never. We live in a very weird garden that is on fire.
Now I'm imagining the dog with like a rake standing there. This is fine.
There in the fucking Trainwreck garden, which is mostly weeds and one flower buried within it somewhere. Anywho, before I go on a fucking rant or some weird tangent, think it's time for our second and final musical interlude for the night. Oh boy, and oh boy. The rest of this night is going to be interesting. In fact, let me hook you with a little preview of what's to come. We have a sequel. From the pre-YouTube days.
Oh God.
So this is going to be fun, but you're going to have to wait for that. Ooh, tea's ready. Whew. Well, while Shirley gets his tea, you're listening to Trademark's Trainwreck on Celestial Radio, all Phantom all the time. Except when there are so many goddamn weeds. We try so hard to get them out of here, but in the end, it doesn't really matter.
I will fucking out of you!
Did you have to use that phrase? Did you have to? I mean, come on.
Yes.
Come here! Come here!
Well, they haven't moved so far.
This has been RandomGreymane Doll Update number 3. Stay tuned next week for, I don't know, some shit happening with him again. In the meantime...
It wouldn't bother me so much, except that I literally double stick adhesived, the feet of Mr. Incredible, Bob, to the shelf. Okay? Those were adhesive to the shelf. Okay? And yet I found him on the floor the other day. Okay?
Well,
so yes, maybe I do have a poltergeist.
Yes. So while you contact the Ghostbusters, welcome back, folks, to Trademark's Trainwreck on Celestial Radio, all Phantom all the time. It's time to start the hardcore material, and ooh boy, we're starting with an oopsie doodle.
Oh dear.
A big oopsie
Not
doodle.
a snickerdoodle, an oopsie doodle.
Yep. So, when you're on social media, you have to be careful of what you take pictures of. Because depending on what is in the photograph, you could be in trouble.
Oh, please let this not be the teapot guy from eBay.
Well, I have no idea what the fuck that means, so we're just going to say no and move on without talking about it anymore, because I get the feeling that is nasty shit. No, instead we're going to Germany, actually. I think this is the first time we've covered something in Germany. Where...
I do believe you're correct.
Where a German prison is being forced to change 600 locks after an intern shared a selfie with the master key.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oopsie
wow,
doodle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Oopsie doodles. This happened on March 6, 2021. So, the prison trainee who worked... I love how the article includes past tense. Yeah, thanks. We couldn't tell from the spelling. This guy who worked past tense at the JVA Heidring... I apologize. The Heidring prison in Germany, Berlin-Brandenburg metropolitan region, reportedly took a photo of himself inside the prison and sent it to his mates on WhatsApp. In the picture, he posed with a master key, which locks all cells and passage doors. Now, before you jump up and ask, what the fuck does that mean? Prisoners don't have access. They'll find a way, goddammit. Prisoners find a way
yes, they
to get
will.
access to all kinds of shit, and the minute they see that master key, they have that shit memorized, and they're molding it out of, like, dirt and shit and fucking bird bones. They'll find a goddamn way.
I mean, like,
to a certain degree.
It's incredibly difficult. I mean, like, it's near impossible to fully, if it's a modern prison, it's near impossible to fully get that up.
Yeah, but either way, it's still a security risk either way. I mean, if the prisoners inside don't do it, someone on the outside might. So, but either way, that's all hypothetical. Either way, they're changing their locks before either of those hypothetical scenarios happen. So, local media reports that the intern, whose name has not been disclosed due to Germany privacy laws, he wanted to show off his friends how great his new job was. Emphasis on was.
Was.
Yeah. In the attempt, though, he unintentionally ended up seriously jeopardizing prison security. Oops. Although reports did not mention who reported the intern selfie to prison management, it was reported that the JVA Heidring was forced to reinstall 600 new locks across several cells in prison to prevent a security breach. While bragging about his new job, the intern clearly did not realize the implications of his actions, i.e., the key could easily be reproduced by specialists. If this were to happen and replicas were smuggled inside, it could have led to a massive breakout. And this prison currently houses 657 inmates. Make of that what you will.
Well, to be honest, like, European prisons, especially in Germany, are really nice. So
it's a nice door.
How many of them actually want to leave?
No, you know what? You know what's a nice? You know what are nice looking prisons from what little I've seen? Japanese prisons. Japanese prisons actually look nice. I don't know. Weird prison tangents aside.
I'll speak to the lock thing here. Having a picture with the key, unless he had it at a particular angle, you would get, unless it's a simple key, which I absolutely doubt, you would get what I call the Staff of Ra effect. So if you've watched Indiana Jones, you know how they duplicate the Staff of Ra, and you know how the Nazis duplicated it. Okay, no, that was not a reference. It's the fact that he gets burned on one side, okay, with one side of the thing, and therefore he doesn't have the complete key. This is the same principle here. Okay, if he took a selfie with the key, yes, you're going to get the edges of the key, maybe. Okay, but you're not going to get the dimples on the side. You're not going to get the grooves on both sides. Okay, and it's not as easy to duplicate as people think it is. And
I mean, seriously, you might get some of that stuff, but it's just ridiculous.
Not also the fact that unless they knock the power out to the prison, okay, the doors are going to be electronically locked anyway. They're not. I have yet to see a prison that doesn't have electronic door locks.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this is a little excessive for the German prison board to be doing this.
You know what? I don't. Okay. Yes, there was a potential breach. We want to cover all of our bases. So yes, changing all the locks makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, but a reprimand, not just straight termination. I mean, come on. This is the guy who's just started the job.
We take our jobs very seriously. You fuck up once, you'll never fuck up again. We will make sure of that.
Hey! Let's drop the stereotypes here.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I couldn't resist. Shirley is right. Okay, this shouldn't be a fireable offense. Although, granted, the prison board is now spending a lot of money. Okay, because those locks are not cheap.
No.
But it's still a just a dumb mistake. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that if this guy made this mistake, he's probably going to be more careful in the future if he's worth employing at all. So,
Hmm.
I guess it would have to do with,
Like if this guy was a multi-year veteran at the prison, I would say there's a possibility he's got a history of pulling stupid shit. But this guy's brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He literally
Cut the
just
kid
got the
slack.
job and then just like fucking gone like that.
Yep.
So,
Well,
getting past
Sometimes that happens.
So getting past
moving
the quote from one Sebastian Brooks, where he basically reiterates the situation. Here we go. The intern was banned from entering the house with immediate effect, and internship ended. Yes.
Okay. So yeah.
Here we
That's
go.
figured.
The simple social media fiasco cost JVA big. Not only did they need to buy new locks and keys, but it took 20 of the facility staff members to install the new security setup, not to mention the cost of having to get the old keys destroyed. Even though there has been no official update on the outlay, experts estimate that this whole thing would have cost 50 euros. Not 50 euros, 50,000 euros. What are you doing, Trademark? So give me a minute. Gonna convert that to dollar. $59,644.50. So it's a biggin.
That's a fair amount of money. I mean,
Yeah.
this prison's probably run by the state, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. At $50,000, yeah, that's kind of a termination offense. Okay, I'll buy that. That's a lot of money. I do take objection to the cost of destroying the keys. When, I'm sorry, you can put all of those keys into the same thing and the same service that you use for shredding hard drives.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can just dump them into a giant industrial shredder, or take them to a fucking kiln.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and just melt them down, and they'll be done. Okay, this is not something that should cost a lot of money. Okay,
Yeah,
so
this seems like they're going an extra mile, unneeded extra mile. So okay, here's one of the main reasons I'm a little put out by this, because I find it just kind of. All right, so there was an incident that happened at the courthouse I work at, where they basically told me straight up from the first day, here's the master key to the entire place. You do not lose this thing. You have to take it home with you, because when you open, or if you're needed at the courthouse at night for some reason, you need to be able to get in. We have a physical master key and an RFID key that can gain us access anywhere. If we lose either of those, every lock, electronic and physical, has to be replaced. And we almost had that happen. Not with one of the bailiffs, but one of the maintenance crew lost her master key, and they were about ready to start like the process of redoing all the locks that night, until thankfully she found it. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, if you lose the key, that's one thing. But again, you're getting a grainy picture on social media. I really do feel like the prison board went a little nuts with this.
This might have actually been their excuse, and the guy just suffered for it. They might have had an excuse where
the European
we
Union
needed to do all these locks, so let's use an excuse to to change them.
The European Union has like really shit labor boards.
So, on the subject of smuggling.
Smuggling.
Boy.
This will be fun.
Well, depends on your definition of fun.
How fast can you make the Kessel Run?
Well, I don't know about the Kessel Run. I don't think we've covered this particular subject on the YouTube iteration of this show just yet. So this is going to be fun. Let's see how YouTube responds to this. It's another case of woman goes to jail and smuggles a loaded firearm hidden in her body cavity.
Oh, God. That's so dangerous.
Yes, it is. Oh, man. Yep, we're here again.
Here's a little hint, ladies. Guns that small that can fit in that area do not normally have safety features on them.
No, they do not.
Correct.
They are basically a little tiny cartoon revolver handgun.
a .22 caliber firearm to be precise, fully loaded with 5 rounds.
Oh, one of those little models? Yeah, those things are insanely dangerous. Those can go off at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
They're basically like I think they've got like 4 rounds. It's a 4-round chamber, and it's
That's a
all
5
you
round.
It's a
basically
5-rounder.
like pull back the hammer, and you just touch that little trigger, and it goes off.
Yep. So
Now, that is a 5 round, though. You can see it. You can see it by the shape of the barrel
5 round.
I can bet that I can't remember the damn name.
Cylinder.
Well,
Cylinder. Thank you.
anywho, let's read it from the top. A Missouri woman arrested last month, and before I forget, this happened on March 4th, 2021. She was arrested last month on drug and weapons charges. She had a small revolver hidden in her body cavity that went undetected during a strip search and 2 pat-downs. Someone did not do their job.
Okay, look, here's the thing.
Either that or they got squeamish and didn't want to check certain cavities.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Cavity searches are not standard procedure when booking someone into the county jail. You do a strip search, and that's about it. There has to be a reason for you to, because
I don't know about you, but jails need to start doing... You remember in that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Total Recall, where there's that scene where Arnold walks behind a screen that X-rays him, and it detects a gun on his person? They need to have that sort of technology. Get working on that. We need that.
Well, okay, look, all right, story time.
Oh no!
I told this, but
I told this before on the days before the YouTube, so I'll tell this for the fans. At the jail where in my county, I heard a story from a former detention officer. Said that he was doing intake, and intake is people come in, freshly arrested, and they're booked into jail. And he did the pat downs, and what you do is you get them to take off their external stuff, not their clothes, but like if they have a jacket or a belt or shoes, you get them to take all that, you inventory it, you wave them with a wand, and he got kind of a false reading when he waved the wand in front of her groin area. And he says, "What's this?" And she's trying to say, "I've got a piercing." And he's like, "Well, we got to do a proper strip search then." And so called in a female officer, did a strip search, no piercing, waved the wand again. It's still there. So that's when they issued a cavity search and found a firearm. So they don't do cavity searches unless there's a reason. It's a possibility. It is a possibility that somebody didn't do that wand wave properly. It's also a possibility it just wasn't detected. There's a tiny little gun. It might not have been picked up through the several centimeters of flesh and tissue.
I guess. Let's go through the article, though. Like I said, this is a 4-inch .22 caliber firearm fully loaded with 5 rounds, which was discovered by personnel at the Boone County Jail. The weapon, wrapped in plastic, was found among the personal belongings of Amy Natasha Willett, 39. She looks like she's 69.
Yeah, it's like, that's 39?
He's 39.
Good Lord.
Yeah, this woman's been ravaged, but you'll see why in a second. And I'm surprised Gray hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I know where this is going.
Yeah.
So.
This woman was booked into the facility on February 14th following her arrest by the Columbia Police Department. Willett was charged with possession of... Say it, Gray, say the line! Meth! She was charged with possession of meth, resisting arrest, unlawful possession of a firearm, and possession of drug paraphernalia. She was also booked...
She had more than one firearm.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but the state of Missouri does have a very terrible meth problem.
So, she was also booked for failing to appear in court in connection with prior callers for domestic assault and drunk driving. So this is just a star student. An initial search of Willett by Columbia cops failed to locate the 4.6 ounce North American arms revolver. A, quote, thorough pat search at the jail was followed by a strip search before Willett joined other detainees in general population, so say the cops. It was not until 17 days later that jailers discovered the firearm. Quote, an investigation immediately began, and probable cause was quickly developed to believe Willett was in possession of the firearm, so say the Boone County Sheriff's Office.
Somebody's fired there.
Somebody
sorry,
is
but
hella
somebody's
fired
fired
at
there.
that point. They're just hella
And
fired.
So,
if you miss it on intake and you have to issue a strip search and stuff like that, that's one thing. But 18 days.
17,
18 days. Yeah, somebody should have seen something at that point because they do bed checks on the reg. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not blaming the intake guy because, again,
No,
there's no reason to do a cavity search unless they determine one is warranted.
Mm-hmm.
Either they didn't do the wand, or the wand just didn't go off.
Or the wand didn't detect it. Again, it's a tiny little gun. And sometimes they just don't detect it well enough.
And some ladies just can, given the size of that firearm, yeah, I can see it fitting.
I don't know how to respond to that, so just in case you folks in the audience don't get it just yet, investigators believe that Willett had the gun concealed in her vagina upon entering the jail, and that she, quote, removed the firearm from her body and conceal it with her personal belongings, end quote. Thank you, smoking gun. I didn't catch it up until now. After being read her rights, Willett admitted to possessing the firearm, but claimed, quote, she was only holding it for another female detainee.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm just holding it for a friend.
Okay.
That's not my pussy gun. I'm holding it for a friend. It's not mine. I don't know where it came from.
Good God.
Oh man.
Oh, that old joke of mine came back full circle, didn't it?
Oh man.
I got nothing in my butt. Turned into that not my pussy gun.
There's a t-shirt for you guys.
Oh, man.
That's not my pussy gun.
We obviously can't say it. We'll censor it if we ever do merch. God, the day we do merch for this show, that'll be the end of times.
Here's a quick little tidbit, folks. I mean, this gun is so small that I have heard stories, not in my local jail, but of stories of other jailers finding this particular type of tiny revolver up guys' buttholes.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me either.
So, other inmates in Willett's housing unit, quote, all stated Amy was in possession of the firearm, so says the investigator. The discovery of the gun resulted in Willett being charged with another felony for allegedly introducing a weapon into a correctional facility. The recovered
That's a felony. That's a big felony.
Yeah, it is. We've got a segment here, the article that talks about the fucking... it's a fucking trivia on this fucking gun. The recovered a new version of this firearm retails for around $250 and features a half-moon sight with a rosewood bird's head grip. Who the fuck cares?
Fantastic. I think they're overcharging for it. $250 for a 5-cylinder tiny ass 22 like that. I can probably go down to my gun shop and drop $200 and get a much better 22 revolver than that.
Yes, but probably not one that fits up your ass. So
probably not, but again,
or
still
in your vagina.
Or in your vagina. Yeah.
Which as we say, is not an uncommon thing, because the rest of this article talks about another incident in 3 incidents actually in Tennessee, Illinois, and Oklahoma, all featuring women trying to enter a jail with a gun in their body cavity.
Yeah, body cavity.
Oh, fun fact, the Tennessee
totally
perp was
thing,
packing
so.
the exact same fire... Well, not the exact same firearm, but the same firearm that Willett had been accused of possessing. So .22 caliber fucking revolvers are popular.
Again, I mean, because 22 is a lot deadlier than a lot of people understand.
Mhm.
Yeah, because here's
It's
the
a
thing.
tiny ass
If you
gun
hit
that goes.
somebody in the eye with a 22, okay, it's not going to exit the skull. It doesn't have enough velocity under normal circumstances, unless it's like a 22 rifle round, where
Even then, it's not going to exit the bone
right.
cavity.
Even then, it's probably not going to exit the bone cavity. It will literally bounce around inside the skull and, well,
Scramble them.
make somebody, a breakfast quiche,
Yeah.
basically. Is
Hell,
what they're
like, if you penetrate the body, period, unless they're wearing like a thick wool coat, a 22 caliber is going to go through your chest cavity, but it won't go out the other side. It'll just bounce around and turn your insides into ground chuck.
correct.
So they're a lot deadlier than a lot of people give them credit for, which is why they're popular with people who are willing to break the law like this. They're fantastic assassin weapons.
Before we continue to the next article, this little fucking joke of mine will show you how developed my sense of comedy is. Never say penetrate the body in general ever again.
But it's a forensic science term.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Well, we've got a similar circumstance, but this time it's not a woman, and thankfully it's not up someone's butt. So
Was in their nose?
Oh.
Well, no. Well, let me just ask you the same question that is the title of this next article. March 8th, 2021. Is that a Glock in your pocket, young man?
Are you just happy to see me?
Okay, so here we go. That was the question that was asked when the police officer pat down. Sorry, I gotta go back.
Excuse me.
It was when the police pat down reached his groin region that Michael Phillips offered an explanation for the hard item in his underwear. That's my dick, the 20-year-old Florida man told the deputy with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office.
Oh my gosh.
I
feel bad for this officer.
So, to reiterate...
He's gonna get so much shit.
To reiterate, in case you didn't get it, cop pats down guy, reaches his groin, feels something obviously harder than a dick, and this guy just goes, "That's my dick." Just another day in Florida.
If I had done that, and the guy said, "That's my dick," I've been like, "What are you, a master of the Iron Fist?
What are you, Master Chief?" Of course, this was not, in fact, Philip's dick.
It was like something like Way of the Iron Body or something like that. It's a very old like kung fu movie reference.
Mm-hmm. Way of the
all
Iron
I can
Balls.
Think about is all I can think about is the quote from Real Genius, where the one girl's asking Val Kilmer, "Can you hammer a 10-inch nail into a board with your penis?" Well, no. Well, girl's got to have her standards.
Okay, then. Okay, so let's get the context for how we got here. Phillips, who was a passenger in a stolen 2015 Chevrolet Equinox that got pulled over that weekend in St. Petersburg, was actually packing a Glock 23 holding a magazine with 22 rounds.
And I bet you the idiot chambered something, too. I bet you it was chambered.
Well, probably.
Well, that's the nice thing about Glocks. They're very hard to shoot off accidentally.
So according to
it can be done, though, but you have to be a real idiot.
So for all you gun nuts...
Exhibit A.
For all you gun nuts, according to the gun's manufacturer, the Glock has a 4-inch barrel and an overall length of 7.36 inches. And that's flaccid.
I would smack you.
Well, this
I
guy.
don't know.
That joke was bad, and you should feel bad.
I went off the train.
So,
No, you're stuck here with the rest of us.
Fuck you.
this is the penultimate article. Sit your ass down. I haven't even gotten to the sequel yet. Be patient. So after being read his rights, Phillips reportedly copped to owning the gun in his drawers. Phillips said he received the Glock as a gift and carried the semi-automatic pistol, quote, for protection. No one say a word. In addition to the magazine in the gun, Phillips was also in possession of a second magazine holding 23 rounds. Phillips was arrested for illegally carrying a concealed firearm, which is a felony. He was released the day after from the county jail on his own recognizance. The vehicle's driver, Kylie Lynn Bartley, 19, remains behind bars, being charged with grand theft auto, a felony, and several misdemeanor counts. Because remember, the car they were driving was stolen.
At least he didn't suffer a premature discharge.
Fool.
Okay.
Oh God, Fanny with the extra point.
Oh,
Again, guys, just as somebody who's gone through firearms training and owns 2 Glocks. Well, I don't own the second one, but it's the county issue. It's incredibly hard to accidentally shoot off a Glock. You have to do something vehemently stupid to shoot it off. Like, I can take my Glock fully loaded with a round in the chamber and throw it against a brick wall and it will not go off.
Yeah. The thing
You
that...
heard it here first, folks. If you're going to stick a gun in your pants, use a Glock.
Hey, I never said you should stick a gun in your pants. I'm just saying.
No, don't do that.
A Glock is the hardest gun to accidentally shoot off.
The thing that...
Trainwreck, we do not condone sticking guns in anyone's pants.
No.
Whether male or female, do not put a firearm in your underpants.
Here's the thing,
For
though.
any reason.
Here's the thing that gets me. The thing that made this article worthy of being on the show to begin with. Why did he say that it was his dick? Why did he think that he would get away? Did he really think...
He's a 20-year-old smartass?
Did he really think...
He thought it was better to either be... He knew the cop was going to find it. He knew he had a slim chance of the cop potentially believing him. So it was either, do I make him think I'm gay? Or do I make him... Or do I let him find the gun?
They're gonna
Actually,
find
it's
the
more
gun
like
anyway.
He was probably like trying to get a laugh out of the cop, in all honesty.
No, you
That
know
would
what it
make
is, because
sense.
he's
I
20
mean,
years old. I think he probably thought, like, what's this? It's my dick. Damn, son, you hung!
More like, I'm agreeing with Shirley. Well, in all honesty, no, I agree with Shirley. He probably knew he was boned anyway, so he's just like, well, so when the cop was like, what is this? It's just like, that's my dick. Or better yet, it just goes, my dick?
My
Jesus.
dude.
Jesus. Just
We're all 12.
don't try to be
Have to
cute.
admit it, we're all 12.
Don't try to be cute with the cops. Just stop.
Well, okay, I will say the only time you should, like, legitimately try and make a cop laugh is during traffic stops for minor infractions. Because if you're just straight up honest with a cop and you legit try and make him laugh, a lot of times they'll just be like, all right, just get the fuck out of here. Warning.
That is
Yeah.
Like, for
actually
real, how do you think...
advice.
I mean,
That's
how do you
actually-
think... Sorry.
One at a time.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Vinny.
How do you think Gabriel Iglesias manages to get away from get so many fucking funny cop stories? Because they always fucking pull him over, and he always manages to make him fucking laugh.
Yeah, Brian Brushwood does the same. Okay, and that's why he's like almost never had a ticket in his life. He just makes them laugh. So
Yeah, just don't commit a
But
felony.
it really only works for minor infractions. You can't be driving down the highway the opposite direction at like twice. the
yeah,
speed.
no,
in a
that's
stolen
not gonna-
car
that's not
with a
gonna work,
Glock in
yeah.
your pants. Ugh. Speaking of things being in your pants, this is that sequel I teased before the musical interlude. The sequel to the article that came during the pre-YouTube days. Oh boy, I never fucking thought that we would have a sequel to this of all things. But you know what? Since it's been mentioned, I thought I might as well bring it back and tell the whole story.
Oh god.
So, Psych Eval for accused stuffed doll assailant.
Oh God.
Oh no! No!
Yeah, everyone here remembers.
It's
Oh,
hard to
God.
forget the guy who has sex with a Olaf plushie inside the Target.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, in case you didn't hear that, March 8th, 2021, a judge has ordered a psychological evaluation to help determine the competency of a Florida man charged with having sexual contact with a pair of large stuffed animals at a Target store. So say the court records. And as Shirley said, one of those animals was that fucking snowman. During a...
So
Quite literally.
Yeah. Oh God.
Jesus.
What this is called, folks, in legal terms, is a Rule 11 evaluation. They're basically, if the guy is still in jail, they're probably going to have the county appointed psychiatrist go and evaluate him. Or if he's out of jail, they'll just have him go up to his office, because something must have been called into question by his attorney that made the judge say, "All right, we'll do a Rule 11."
Mm-hmm.
So, quite possible
Because
that
it's one
there might be
thing.
need for it.
Yeah, because it's one thing to have a plushie fetish, because yes, that is a thing. It's one thing to have a
Unfortunately.
plushie fetish, and it's one thing to have a plushie fetish, and to, like most sane adults, keep it in your home and only do it at home with the pieces that you have personally purchased, and to otherwise, when you are out and about, act like a normal, decent human being. It is also one entirely different thing to have a voyeurism fetish and with consenting people and in a controlled setting indulge in that, which
Mm-hmm.
can be done. We have seen already what happens when you have a voyeurism or exhibition fetish and you do it wrong.
Oh God, you just
This
said
is where
you just said all of that very good advice, and I just came up with a horrible fucking joke.
yes, right now you've this is when you combine these two very niche fetishes and do both of them wrong.
Yeah, just remember,
Well-
folks, is not consent.
Anyway, so I will. I'm gonna punch you when I meet again. Anyway, it doesn't surprise me that this guy is getting a Rule 11 evaluation. I mean, because if I remember correctly, in the old article, in the last article, he wasn't listed as being high or drunk, and articles about Florida man doing something criminal or disgusting or weird are never shy about saying that they had something in their system.
Exactly.
So since they didn't,
He was sober
yes,
and not anything at all.
yeah, so it's more than
He
likely
was
that
just fucking some plushies.
Yep.
yeah, and it's quite possible this guy doesn't have the wherewithal to understand why he did what was wrong, or he lacks a level of impulse control that the average folk in society have.
The neurotypical people do possess. That's right. So it's quite possible this person suffers from mental illness and just wasn't capable of realizing either that what they were doing was wrong or being able to control themselves, just as Shirley said. So yeah, it's possible. Does it excuse it? No, it doesn't excuse the behavior.
Not at all. So, for those who want the full details on this case, allow me. During a circuit court hearing on the afternoon of March 8th, Judy Kathy Ann McKighton appointed a psychologist to examine Cody Meter, 22, who has been charged with criminal mischief and exposure of sexual organs, both misdemeanors. A further hearing on Meter's ability to stand trial has been scheduled for next month. As detailed in police and court records, a target loss prevention officer told cops that he watched as Meter took a stuffed unicorn to the children's bedding department, where he exposed himself and, quote, took the unicorn and placed it against his genitalia and began a sexual motion like the subject was trying to fornicate with the creature.
Boink in the corn.
Yep.
But this isn't like a small county in Florida, so there's no way the target loss prevention guy said that.
No, I was kind of paraphrasing a little bit.
I followed this guy here. I saw him grabbing the unicorn, and then he was heading to the children's section, so I decided just to take a look and see what he was doing. And then I saw him pull down his pants and start fucking the unicorn. What the hell?
Boink in the corn.
Yeah. Boink in the corn. That's our country music album.
I mean, for God's sakes, man, at least Deadpool knew to do it at home.
Yeah.
Exactly. Deadpool had similar taste, but at least he did it at home.
Also, you didn't buy the unicorn dinner. I mean, what's with that?
So the Target employee said that when he walked into the aisle where Meter was, the suspect, quote, stopped and placed the unicorn back on the shelf. Ugh. Meter, wearing shorts and a Star Wars t-shirt, then went to the front of the St. Petersburg store, and, quote, picked up an Olaf Snowman stuffed animal and began doing it again. So say the witness statement. The subject...
This is the part that got us, because, like, not only was he caught doing the first time, and he just, like, oh shit, put it away. It's like, he didn't leave the store and try it at a different store. He didn't buy a thing and then take it home and complete his weird little ritual, whatever, there. No.
He stayed. He not only stayed, he not only did it again, but he fucking finished.
So the unicorn didn't quite do it for him. The
No.
snowman did.
While Meter was engaged with the Olaf doll, police were already en route to the store, which is about 10 miles from the defendant's residence. A store...
I don't think engaged with the doll is the right term.
Well,
obviously he wasn't married.
It's the famous... Fucking Christ, Greg.
Hey, no.
So, a store surveillance camera recorded Meter's interaction with Olaf, which you can find on YouTube as of this recording.
I'm not trying for that one.
Just look up stuffed animal assailant and you'll find it.
We don't want to.
We don't want to.
I know, I'm just...
I mean,
someone in our audience will want to.
That one.
If you YouTube audience of this show, go and look this shit up.
We're not responsible
Fine.
for your
We're not
brain
responsible.
For the mental anguish you suffer.
Mm-hmm.
We warned you.
So after watching the video, a cop reported that Meter could be seen, quote, on top of the Olaf doll behind the table display. He was face down and appearing to be humping the doll. When Meter was finished, the cop added he got up off the floor, wiped the doll off on the front of his shorts. Upon being read his rights, Meter, quote, admitted to doing stupid stuff, and admitted that he had, to quote the man himself, nutted on the Olaf stuffed animal.
Yeah, this guy's got some mental health issues.
Yeah. And in case you're curious, both of these victims were destroyed due to circumstances.
Yes.
Yes.
They were photographed for evidence, but they were thoroughly destroyed. So,
well, yeah, they're technically a hazmat situation.
Yeah. What I love
anything. Yeah, go ahead.
What I love about the photos that they took of these guys prior to being destroyed, they're photographed as if they're Well, I guess they are from a crime scene, but it's like, I don't know, there's just something morbid about seeing, like, this partially dirty Olaf just lying prostrate on the floor, just, eh. And then there's the unicorn lying on its side, on kind of pathetic between two people. Just,
Someone has obviously never trawled 4chan.
I feel so violated.
it's like,
No, like I have a feeling they're going to come back with a classification of SMI, severe mental health, severely mentally ill. So it's possible that they're just going to send them to a. I don't know what the state mental health is like in Florida, but it can't be good.
So to wrap it up. If Meter's case proceeds to trial, prosecutors have said they will seek to introduce evidence showing that the Target incident was not the first time he engaged in such illicit activity. Years earlier, police were called to a Walmart in Clearwater to formally trespass Meter from the store. I guess they're saying that they wanted to fucking get him out of that store. A loss prevention officer told officers that Meter, then a juvenile, was performing sexual acts with stuffed animals located in the store. Oh, he's a repeat offender. And of course he started in Clearwater.
Well, here's the problem. I'm actually kind of surprised.
One at a time. Shirley first.
This is kind of surprising. I'm actually a little on the shock side that they brought that up because he was trespassed as a juvenile. You can't get those records.
And
you can't like bring them up to the news. This is
they're not supposed to. They do it a lot of times, but they're not supposed to.
Yeah, this is kind of a big violation of his rights. His lawyer should be like suing the crap out of that news agency.
We'll see.
This could potentially get his case.
Very least.
One at a time.
His case thrown out.
Okay. Yeah,
it could get his case thrown out because of this violation.
That's actually what I was about to say. His lawyer could say this is insanely prejudicial. We can't introduce any of this stuff to trial.
Yep.
And because this is exposed en masse to the media, that any jury would be tainted.
Mm-hmm.
And on top, to be honest, like again, he's going to be listed as SMI. They're probably going to send him to counseling. He might end up being a ward of the state if he's that mentally ill, and like he doesn't have family looking after him.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, and honestly, is it any wonder he's a repeat offender? If he began that young, it also calls into question what influenced him. What caused this to begin with? Not just mental illness, but something below. Something. There's more to this story that's potentially bad.
Yeah.
Maybe 4chan sites. I don't know. Everyone who's an adult My Little Pony fan knows about the Lyra plushie.
Oh.
And the conveniently placed pockets.
I was going to ignore that particular piece of data, but thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you for dredging that memory. And believe it or not, I've seen worse things, honestly, but I'm not gonna discuss them here of all places.
Because then you will be taken off of YouTube.
Yeah. So let's just wrap up this article by saying this. We'll be keeping an eye on Meter's case. And by we, I mean me. Because I do this.
You're the sadomasochistic one of the group.
Yeah, I'm the one who dredges up these news articles, looks to my friends and go, look, something stupid. And then I get a reaction out of them, and that's the show.
You know, in all fairness, Mrs. Greymane, who's not, who's feeling horrible today with a migraine, was like sad that she couldn't find you any articles. She did actually say that to me today. So you do actually have somebody else trying for articles.
You two are actively looking for me. Why are you actively looking for me in all the dumb Florida news? I do nothing. I'm the one Florida man that does nothing.
No. She is looking for articles for you. Not looking specifically for
Trademark. Yes, we're not
She's-
looking
she's
for
trying to
trade.
Oh,
like-
okay.
She's
The
trying
way
to find articles for your show.
the way you initially said it at first, it's just like, what the fuck, man?
I got it. She
Yeah.
wants
I knew what I was saying.
It's not like it was that esoteric.
But anyway.
Anyway, are we done? Can we finish with this now, please?
Don't say finish. Yeah, we're done. We're done for tonight. Oh god.
I didn't need to see those pictures. I really didn't.
Why did you look?
Yeah, I'm not looking.
I can't help it. They're on the screen.
Yeah, I did mention
Trade
the
stall.
I did mention those fucking like sad ass pictures, just like
Get rid of these pictures, please. I don't want to see this.
I will, and while I do,
Imagine if I came across this trade.
I bet he would just
What if I saw this?
oh, you know, he would just see those pictures and go, what is this? The fuck is this? And then
You are the
and then I will jump at the
Jim.
chance to tell the story, and all of you in slow motion would go, no!
Don't corrupt that poor boy.
Oh, it's
Corrupt that poor boy.
He's been,
we
he's
don't
been
know.
on
We're
this
not having
show
that discussion.
before.
He has been on this show before. And the stuff that he draws shows that he has been more than corrupted already. So no, we're not buying that one.
He was on.
It would just be like traumatizing because of how much he loves his plushies.
Yes.
Not in
Well,
that way.
okay, fair enough.
Not in that way. Not in that way.
Not
viewers,
in that
no.
way, no.
No.
Okay, anyway. I might have to cut out some of that just to save some space.
He's an innocent little sweet roll.
No, you won't. You won't have to cut that out. We'll just have to make sure that Zai also takes a trip on the train.
Anywho, yeah, we're
Anyway,
done for
let's-
tonight.
yeah.
We're done for tonight.
Mhm.
Oh boy, this was a interesting night with that last article. Okay.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestial Radio, all fandom all the time. With me here tonight has been RandomGreymane.
If Olaf had sex, would he have to use a snow condom?
Thank you.
What? It's an honest question.
That some questions don't need to be asked, and some mental
No.
images don't need to exist. Oh.
You'd be
Also,
pulling a Jack Frost to be able to do that anyway.
ugh. Oh. Sad thing is, I know exactly what you're referencing, and now we're moving on to the rest of the outro. With me here tonight was also Sherlock.
I hate all of you.
And finally, the fangirl.
Kill me.
Okay, our theme song was created by Marivex, and our banner art was created by Court Awesome. You can find their social media, as well as my co-host's social media, and all of the links for the articles we've talked about in the description below. My name is Trademark, and good night.
I told you guys, don't move. Don't move.